Okay, I have one viewer, so I'm just gonna start right here. If people don't want to join, it's all good. So, Christmas is basically here. In the next couple of weeks, we're gonna see a lot of Black people getting ready to celebrate Black History Month. And I want to know if it's gonna be the same rigamajig as always. We're gonna see all these posters about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. But I'm just wondering, all the heroes that you post up to say that you're down with Black History Month, do you ever take a second to sit down and really penetrate what these Black heroes stood for? I'm going to start with Marcus Garvey because a lot of people in the reggae industry here in Toronto, they always say, yeah, man, I'm Marcus Garvey, and we're going to meet Marcus Garvey's son and Ray Ray. But what did Marcus Garvey stand for? Marcus Garvey didn't promote dependency. He promoted independency. He believed that Black people had the power. He believed that Black people had the potential, the talent, and God's blessings to create their own community. Marcus Garvey wanted us to get ships and leave and go back to where we came from. Whenever racist people get confrontational with Black people here in North America, what is the first thing they say? Go back to where you came from. Go back. What's taken us so long to really actually go back? We can't do it and we won't do it because of the hatred that we have for ourselves. And then it illuminates to hatred that we have for each other. How much do you stand for what Marcus Garvey represented? Another sad thing about this Canadian life as a Black person within the Black community, let me tell you this, is that when one person decides to stand up and take a stance and say, yo, come on, let's do this together. Let's stop fighting against each other. All you'll do is behave like you're still on the plantation. They never really had actual plantations in Canada, but I'll say that the Black people here in Canada are more like think in the slave mentality. What do the Black people do here? They huddle up together behind closed doors and they yap, yap, yap. Yeah, she's this and that, just to put a dagger in anyone's effort to say, yo, we can be independent. We don't have to depend on people. I'm tired of recording the videos and then uploading it. I just want to say it straight up. As a Black community here, especially Toronto is known to be the biggest multicultural city. But if you look at Statistics Canada, more than 80% of the Caribbean migrants here in Canada migrated to Toronto more so than any other city in Canada. And we're all here and we own nothing. We own nothing. We always have to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, fill out an application because we are too complacent and satisfied to be at the bottom of the rung. And if you suggest let's rise up, people don't want to do that. They want to work together to destroy whatever good comes their way. Now, I'm saying this straight up because I have nothing to hide. The petition that I began to petition against the law enforcement, the local MPs, and the people that have the power to put a stop to the continuation of the ill treatment of Black people, the disregard for our safety in our community, and the children growing up in our community. I started the petition for that reason. So now you come along and you start another petition. So how does that look to the outside world? Outside of the Black community, let's just say the Punjabi community or any other ethnic group started a petition, and all of a sudden, oh, there's another one right there. There is the loophole to sabotage whatever you were trying to do. Because why? Tell me why. Anyone with Caribbean roots that took a moment to listen to my live, you know what they say? Okay, they say when you're united, you could stand, but divided, you fall. So to divide is to rule. But nobody stepped into that to divide so they could rule. You people did it to yourselves. You did it to yourselves. I'm not about popularity, man. I'm not about being invited here or welcomed here and there. I really don't care. But as a Black woman who has Black sons and a daughter and grandchildren, Black cousins, Black brothers, my father is Black, and I have a heart, I feel it for my community. I feel it from my community that there are missing Black people, and nobody will turn on their TV and see that fact on the news. And if you notice, there's a pattern in this. It's a certain age group and a certain uh, ethnic group, which is the Black people that are being targeted. And you don't even know the danger that our community is in right now. And all people could think about is being competitive. What is there to compete with? We're all Black. Some of us are a lighter shade or a darker shade, but Black is Black. Peter Tosh said, no matter where you come from, as long as you're a Black man, you're an African. But you people don't think Black. All you do is sell out, and you get very little in return. What do you get in return when you sell out your own self? You're in the skin God blessed you to be in. It doesn't matter how you want to act or identify. You are what you are. You can never reverse your DNA. You can never reverse who and what you were born. You could masquerade yourself, but you're always going to be Black, yo. Think about it back in days of the Panthers, Bobby Seals, Huey P. Newton, Fred Hampton. What did them Panthers do? They began a community and tried to create their own community so they don't have to depend on the white media to share and advocate for the atrocities that Black people have been going through since the beginning of time. And why do you think that the FBI and the Klan members stormed in and mashed up the circulation of the Panthers newspaper? They did it to stop the truth from coming out. In this case, in Toronto, Vibe 105 FM no longer plays reggae music. When I first came here, you could turn it on and you could listen to the Zion Train, the Cool Running Show. You heard Black content. You don't hear that anymore. You know why? Because the system that you people sell out and bow down to, they want to stop you and stunt you. They don't want their Canadian society to know all the things that the Caribbean community has and the African community has to offer. So you know where they hit first? They stop your message and your talent and your music and what you have to share and what you have to say from getting out there. And the only person that ever took the time and walked through the struggle to start their own commercial station, not some little station in a university or in a school with weak frequency. He started his own. Portia Simpson came, the Prime Minister of Jamaica. He went through fire because I interviewed Fitzroy Gordon before he passed away. And he did it. An ungrateful Black community that we are, we didn't see to it that his dream didn't go down in the coffin with him. Who owns G98.7 now? It isn't a Black man, that's for sure. That was a Black man's dream. A Black man like your father and my father, your sons, your brothers. And I'm going to say we because I am a part of the Black community as well. We let that dream die. No one's ever stepped up to the plate ever again. Some of you won't do it again because you don't want to get your white friends upset and you want to make sure that everyone is happy with you when you walk into the office. But you should be ashamed. How many times are you going to let a Black man's dream die? Instead of having 2 petitions, there should be one to show these people that we stand united and not divided. And that's why our community can't get anywhere. It doesn't matter how much PhDs you have behind you. Your first offense on this continent is the Black badge that you wear as a Black person. They will never, ever give you the same value that we are worth, the value that we continue to give away. Popularity doesn't count anymore because the popular die too. The rich, if Queen Elizabeth couldn't defeat death, who are we that we think we have the power with our degrees and our friends and who we roll with to defeat death? You cannot defeat it. But some of you are dead already and you haven't even hit the ground yet. You're dead inside because you already gave up. And anyone who comes along and says, yo, let's keep going, you work together to sabotage them and mash them up. You mash them up. You don't say, yeah, let's build, yo. Let's build. Who owns every Tim Hortons in the city of Toronto? There is absolutely no Black-owned Tim Hortons. We don't own a thing. And after this holiday, go on Google and read all the different legislations that are coming into effect on January the 1st. Where do you think you are going to be? You have nothing to offer. You own nothing that you could hold on to and say, I'm going to capitalize on this business. And as a community, we lack and we slack. How long are we going to continue like this? The saddest part of this equation, yo, if you go back, go watch Alex Haley's Roots. You see, they had the master, then they had the kitchen help, and then they had the overseers. The overseers are what we would label as white trash now. So they'd be in the fields saying the N-word, get up and pick that cotton. But when it came time to yielding that whip, it wasn't the overseer with that long piece of cat o' nine. They would use their most loyal buck to do the beatings. And we still do that to this day. Because really and truly, who owns Vibe 105 FM here in Toronto? It's owned by York University. But who did they use to yield that whip and axe Poggy Simeon? They axed Sir B. They axed Natty B and Jah Chosen. They axed J Love. They axed all of them. They're gone. Even Luther Brown, who served the community as the principal of the Afrocentric elementary school. All of them. They didn't quit. They got caught. The boot. And who delivered the whip? It wasn't the overseer. They don't do the dirty work. They send the little puppets, the slaves, to do the whipping. And they gladly do it. They don't say, no, master, I don't want to do it. They do it because they want to remain in the master's good grace. Well, I want to tell you something. Push will come to shove because, as you could see, times are changing. When you see there's food banks are broadcasting it on the news, we have no more food to give. There is nowhere to live in this city. Who has a roof over their head? Thank God. So I'm going to say that I'm not going to say if push comes to shove, when push comes to shove. Do you think the master that you try to please so much that you go and whip your own people for the master, you think they're going to stand with you and let you into the big house? You'll be locked out and you'll have to face the same brothers and sisters that you took pleasure in whipping. You done know. I don't know what else to say to you people, but I'm not hiding behind my phone anymore. There's so much more I have to say. But the most important thing is, if we don't own anything by now in this country, we're never going to. And you will live out the rest of your days saying, yes, sir, ma'am, because there's no sense of independency. Look at what the Black Panthers did. They had their own breakfast club, breakfast program to feed the kids in the ghetto, as we label it. They had their own medical team. Everything they set up as their own, Black owned and operated, free to the Black community. Look at the JCA. When I walked in there the other night, I'm like, look at this big space. There is no like community workers to say we have counseling available to Black families. We have a food bank program. We have a clinic. We have a law team to help Black people when they're in trouble with the law. All we are is just a waste, a waste of space and time. The only time you guys come out is to party with who you chose to party. So you support who you feel to support as long as they're doing what you want. If not, you people will turn your backs on each other and laugh when it doesn't. Lord, me here, so the thing did empty. But are you really targeting what really counts? Did you know we used to have a legal Black action team and that went south, deeper south than Mississippi and Alabama? Nobody supported. We didn't use that Black legal clinic. We preferred to call up legal aid. And you think they care about the outcome of your court case? How many innocent Black people get charged, overcharge people, and say they did this and that, and there's no one standing outside the courtroom? Look at the other day, 2 off-duty policemen beat a Black student from the university, beat him so bad that his brain shifted and caused a hemorrhage. They should have been charged with first murder in the first degree, and they got off with assault, although the mother had to bury him. Where was the Black community? Look at those Africans that migrated here, paid their money for their visas, and ended up sleeping on the street. When cameras were rolling, I guess you guys like the DeMarco. You don't let the video light miss you. You know that song by DeMarco, Nah Make the Video Light Miss Me? People only like the video light. But after the government stopped giving funding to the Black churches and Black entities, funding them to help the homeless Africans, doors went bloom, got shut. We don't even hear about those Africans anymore. Who follows up with them people? Nobody. Because they never cared to begin with. They just wanted to be caught by the video light. Could I tell you something? I live downtown, and them people are still out there. misplaced. They're not even allowed to sleep in a park under a thin tent anymore because Doug Ford says any encampment set up in the parks across the GTA, you could face 6 months in prison and a $10,000 fine to a homeless population. And most of them are the migrants from Africa. But you don't, all them people you saw, oh, and I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that, where them there? You know that song, all them there, what them that did there? Well, where are they right now, yo? Them people are still down there. How many of them people that were happy to take the limelight, where did they go? Do you guys know where all them Africans are right now? You wouldn't know because it's not the hottest thing where you could start to trend and be seen as, blah, blah, blah. That's all that drives you people. The video light, the prestige, and the power. You don't think about tomorrow. And yo, that's all I have to say, man. To those of you who clicked in and joined my live, bless you. I hope you learned something from the message I'm trying to convey today. I'm not looking for popularity. Yes, there is a petition out there. I've shared the link many times. If you want to sign, sign. I'm not asking anybody to sign any petition because I'm looking for people to be follow bots, yo. This is about your community, our children. They say it takes a village to raise a child, you don't know. But that village, they only follow the video light or who's more popular or who has more friends and who more trends, yo. Well, I'm not that person. I don't trend like that, yo. I'm not popular. And that's not my mission and aim. Because, like I said, the popular are not immune to death either. We can all die. It's how you live before you die that counts. Your values, your principles, your loyalty to who you are. You done know that is what counts, not being popular. I'm cutting the tape now. Bless up yourselves and have a happy holiday. Cut the life, my girl.